Today, something groundbreaking is happening here. A kind of reparations, or as they refer to them in Aotearoa, settlements. Land and cash settlements for Maori, accompanied by historic formal apologies from the government.
Our iwi received $87 million in cash from the Crown.
17 land blocks have been returned, with deeds and titles.
$170 million. Peanuts. It really is peanuts.
There are about 138 government-recognized iwi today, and they all have their own specific historical grievances with the Crown. As of 2022, there have been nearly 80 settlements passed into law. These claims generally work like this. Iwi must register a historical claim with the Waitangi Tribunal to have their grievances heard and to proceed in the settlement process. If their claims are deemed well-founded, they can begin the process of direct negotiation with the Crown. After what can be years of back and forth, eventually they write the final deed of settlement that both parties sign. To receive the settlement assets, iwi must set up a governance entity that administers the wins on behalf of the community, often putting the money towards business development, health, and education for the entire group. The list of what Maori are seeking is long. It includes millions of dollars, apologies, the return of land, waters, fisheries, minerals, and the restoration of Te Reo Maori, the Maori language. And no two settlements, or the experience of negotiating them, are the same. In 1995, the Crown recognized the unlawful theft of more than 1 million acres of Waikato lands in the 1860s and settled with the iwi for $170 million. The settlement was successful, but also controversial. For one, the iwi was criticized for siding with the Crown just months after dozens of iwi nationwide rejected the government's $1 billion fiscal cap on the settlements. And the settlement only provided the return of around 30,000 acres. Ngāti Maru's settlement included $30 million in cash, the return of 17 land titles, and the right to purchase 36 Crown properties, including the Te Wera forest.
After more than 30 years of negotiations, the government has formally apologised to Ngāti Maniapoto.
Jacinda Ardern has issued an apology to a Maori tribe, topped off with a $155 million in financial redress and the return of 36 cultural sites.
Oh, look, as we know with these things, the goalposts always shift. This is why you can absolutely never, ever, ever give in to this kind of activism, because if you give them an inch, they will take a mile, and the goalposts will just move again. I mean, this situation has been going on for about 30 years. There's been this back and forth about reparations over warmongering, and of course it is Jacinda Ardern who is the one who eventually delivers it.
These things are not set up to be resolved, they're set up to be ongoing, so people can continue milking the public purse.